What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and you already know what time it is. It's Monday morning, so that means it's time for another episode of Let's Address the Comments. I gotta admit, this has been a very interesting week for me. We started off on such a cold foot. Y'all was not feeling the black Jew and then videos. I can't even say Hebrew to Negroes because y'all didn't even really leave comments on that. It was just the can black people be Jews or whatever. It's y'all didn't like that at all. So it's very interesting week I had. But you know what? It's just how it's gonna be. I tell y'all all the time, the content creators I like watching, I don't agree with 100% of the things they say, so I don't expect y'all to agree with 100% of the things that I say. I really don't. It'd be weird if you did. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be like, why do you trust me so hard? Like, what's wrong with you? But let's go ahead and dive into the comments from this week and see what you guys are talking about. All right, so the first video was from one that I put up recently titled, "Poor People Shouldn't Have Children." This commenter says, "Everyone can't be born with a silver spoon, and God put all kids here, whether poor or rich. Take it up with him." Well, to be fair with you, so no, God put us here, right? And he gave us the ability to make the choices that we want to make because we have free will. All they were asking in that video is that don't purposely have children while in poverty, because that's going to be harder on not only you, but on the kid. It's going to be harder for the kid to maneuver in life. Statistically, and if you watched a lot of the clips from that Dr. Phil episode, and talk to, well, I guess not talk to, but view the content of two of the content creators that were on there, one being Anton Daniels, the other one is Jesse Lee Peterson. The main goal is that Anton believes that poor people shouldn't be out here having all the kids that they're having because it's a drain on the resources publicly. Where I can see where he's coming from. He was raised in inner city Detroit, grew up across the street from a crack house. So he saw people abusing the system. And I think that's really his beef with it, is that a lot of people will keep having kids and pumping them out to stay in that system, which keeps you in poverty, which isn't healthy for anybody, because due to a lot of the things access-wise not being down in those areas, a lot of those kids aren't going to make it up out of there and become better. And when I become better, I'm not talking about becoming a millionaire. It's just moving one step forward. For example, my mom is from the hood. She had it set in her mind. She was like, when I have a child, they are never going to go through what I had to go through as a kid. The next step forward for her was just getting to the suburbs. So it's just taking one step forward. We weren't rich either. We've had our problems financially while living in the suburb. But I was a couple steps further ahead in life than my boyfriend and his brothers, because they were raised, unfortunately, in the hood due to like the decisions that their mom made. So that's all he's asking. And then Jesse Lee Peterson also threw in the fact that a lot of people that are doing that are single parent households. There's no actual family structure or family unit. Now, when we are speaking here in America. I can't speak on the rest of the world on how y'all family structures and setups are for the households and poverty strains. I have no idea. I don't live over there. But in America, that's what it seems like. So we're not asking you to have a silver spoon in your mouth and be millionaires and, you know, your family makes 6 figures a year. We're not asking for that. It's just, don't purposely have them when you're down here. And if you do have them, the game plan should be to figure out how to get out of that, not staying down there and creating more kids in that living environment. That's all. Okay, this next question actually was on one of my shorts. And it says, my question is, why do you believe in something written in a storybook 2,000 years ago? It's the exact same thing as believing the Santa Claus is true. Nothing else, nothing less, and no, I'm not an atheist. I guess my question would be to you is, okay, if you're not an atheist, then what are you? Are you agnostic? Are you religious at all? Because if you're religious, I can throw the same thing back at you. Like, why do you believe what you believe? Why do you think you're right? I mean, I don't know where else you want me to go. You didn't even tell me what you were, and I'm thinking you threw the atheist thing in there because last week in this episode, I stated a bunch of people just willingly told me they were atheists when they gave their objections to, what was it, Cameron letting you guys know of his financial situation, the Catholic YouTuber. And I'm just like, a lot of you guys really wanted to point out that you were atheists to be mad about the financial situation part of that. So, my man, what do you believe in? Because, like I said, I'll throw the same thing back at you. Why do you believe in X, Y, and Z? I don't know. Until you answer that, I can't really answer your questions. You know what I'm saying? All right, the next comment is from the Kanye West Walking Off Timcast video, where I basically gave a whole recap of that. We watched it together. The guy said, Trump is abrasive and outspoken and has no muffler, but as far as doing the job we elected him for, he was brilliant. His ego on Twitter hurt him constantly because it gave his opposition ammunition. I full-heartedly agree with that. But everything he did was with regards to the American people. Trump won that election because he wasn't a career politician. Oh, okay, because I guess he's saying that because in that video I did say, I was like, we all know Kanye's never becoming president. This was well before he went on Alex Jones with the Hitler comments. And then I also stated that Trump wasn't going to win either. So I think that's why he's making that, stating that right there. I'll hold my peace once we get to the end of it. Americans are sick and tired of career politicians who have no clue what their actual jobs are. Serve your constituents. My bad, you spelled a word wrong or you left like a letter out. That threw me off. The literal definition of public service, but we're not seeing this at all with the Democratic Party. I agree with you. Can anyone tell me if it's a stretch to consider that the billions of dollars America is borrowing from China, then passing to Ukraine, the money laundering capital of the world, might be finding its way back to certain politicians' offshore accounts? The spending is insane and no one's bothered to even attempt to explain to the American citizens why this money keeps getting sent with no oversight. Okay, so basically to let you know, the reason I said Trump wasn't getting back in was because look how the media paints him. They didn't like him when he was running the first time around, and they despised that man when we got to the end of his presidency. So, yeah, they're not, like, he can run. There's nothing wrong with him running, but they're not going to let him get back in. Now, I recently did the Twitter Files video, and if you guys watch that, it was amazing. It basically proved Trump was right about everything. And it shows that the Democratic Party, plus it also came out after the fact that somebody from the FBI got on trial and admitted that the DNC does sit with all the big tech companies to suppress information and lie and ban people. So that's a thing. That's a huge thing. And we saw that in the Twitter Files video. That painted Trump and Elon Musk in a great positive light. Makes them look great. You know what the issue is? No media platform ran that information at all. At all. They act like it didn't happen. And we know why. We know exactly why. So with that said, I mean, if Trump is an option, I would like DeSantis to be an option if he ever runs. But if he doesn't, Trump will be cool. Are they going to let him back in there? No, I don't believe so. The media cannot stand him. There's no way they're going to let him back in the White House. That's why I said what I said in that video. Because there's no way they're going to let him get in there. All right, this next comment is from the same video, actually. He says, the problem with you saying that they're not crazy all the time, I mean, name your character. Hitler wasn't crazy all the time. Mao, Stalin, they weren't crazy all the time. You look at Nick Fuentes, he would scream that he was a Nazi and that he was more of a Nazi than all the other Nazis. And he was the most Nazi of all the Nazi people who never been a Nazi. And then he gets in public when he's not on his own show after Charlottesville. And he's like, I was never a Nazi. I didn't lead all those videos. That was actually YouTube. And it's not that they believe they're Jews. That's the problem. Wait, what? If you look at the Nick Cannon clip, he sort of explains it a little bit better in just a few seconds. But the long and short of the Black Hebrew Israelites is it's based on Hitler's ideology. And the concept is that if they eliminate the Jews, they'll eventually become gods. That's why the majority of all attacks on Jewish people are from the Black Hebrew Israelites. Okay, first off, punctuation, my man. There was like no periods, stop points, commas, nothing. Also, to address your comment, I don't know why the jumping point when I said they're all not crazy was, so what do you think about Hitler and Mao and Stalin? Why is that the first thing you jump? I'm talking about a religious group of people. If that's the case, we can make the case that religion has accounted for tons of evil in the world and all religion is bad. Because that's the atheistic case for it. Am I right? Right? When I was saying that, When I was talking about the Black Hebrew Israelites, it was in reference to the video earlier in the week that started our week off that a lot of you were mad about, which I don't get why. And I gave like a pretty generous viewpoint of that video. I didn't even say much that I really wanted to say, and a lot of you kind of flipped out over that. But the beginning of that video, it was Black Hebrew Israelites, but they weren't the ones that be on the corners screaming. They were just reading scripture from the Bible, stating how blacks are the true Jews from the Bible, okay? Then in that video, a black man who was also a Christian then appeared and was like, I'm going to prove to you guys using scripture while they are incorrect and why they are using scripture incorrectly, okay? Then the comments, y'all was tripping after y'all heard my response on that. What I was saying in this video was when I said they're not all bad, I was looking at it from a religious standpoint. How we all look at Catholics. I'm going to just use them as the example point. We'd be like, oh, all Catholics are evil. We saw that on this channel in a lot of street preaching videos I watch. Somebody be mad and be like, I don't like you Catholics, you're evil. And then the street preacher would be like, first off, we're not Catholic and we think they're evil too and we denounce the church. And then they're in agreement for 5 seconds before they're screaming back and forth at each other. That's what I was in reference to when I said they're not all bad. When I look at Catholics in the street, am I now going to connect them to all the evil that the Catholic Church has done in the world? Am I going to connect every person that goes to a Catholic church as being evil? No. That's what I meant when I said not all Black Hebrew Israelites are evil. Just like I could look at a Muslim and we could see the extremist killing people and throwing people off the roofs like we witnessed in one of my videos when I read the article. You have that, and then you literally have Muslims that are just like not like that. That's what I meant. The mental jump to Hitler, Mao, and Stalin is insane. And you are the third person that has done that on my channel. I've had 2 Jewish people jump off the bridge, okay, and connect me to Hitler and anti-Semitism because they didn't agree with something I said in a video. And I'm going to be real with y'all real quick. I'm going to move in and be real with y'all. I did not go through my childhood of being teased and hearing every Jew joke in the book, being called the K word, being called the N word with the hard R, just for random people I don't know to be like, what? What did the first guy say? He was like, the fact that you believe in Jesus, you're no better than Hitler. I had a Jewish man say that to me. My man compared me to Hitler. Hitler mass murdered millions of people. My own family members didn't make it up out of there. My grandpa ended up being an orphan because of that. But I'm compared to Hitler because I believe in Jesus. Y'all jumping points is too ridiculous for me, okay? I had a woman spaz out and call me anti-Semitic because she didn't agree with something I said in a video. We can disagree all day, but I swear on everything, she did pull me out of pocket and I almost called her the B word. And if she would have said that to my face, old saying would have popped out and probably popped her in her jaw. I'm just saying. I'm just being real and transparent with y'all. But y'all can't jump off that deep off of something that's like surfacely level said, okay? Stop going straight to Hitlers and Nazis. I think the whole Kanye thing right now with him just randomly saying stuff and then Kyrie sharing a link got y'all tripping. Just because the mental gymnastics to connect this to mass murdering psychopaths don't make no sense. And I just want to be real with y'all about that. All right, this next comment, this is a long one too. I dropped a video titled, Why Do You Hate Conservatives? So this person says, folks cannot get sentimental about babies in the womb, but cut funding to everything that could possibly make their lives better. How the heck can a party claim to care about children, but cut funding for schools, including free meals, be okay with hitting kids, not care about quality of life, and not just being pro-life? That's completely false, but all right. Plus, a person carrying a baby has a life that matters too. Banning abortion makes things worse. Also, why the heck should we have to respect religious beliefs that harm millions of people with hate? Oh, that's crazy. Didn't I just say that in another comment? Didn't I just say that in the last comment about religion and hate? And don't get me started on how Reagan destroyed the middle class with tax cuts for rich people. All those tax cuts do is raise taxes for middle class and working class people, and they cut programs that people need. So Americans pay taxes and don't even get anything for it. Our health system is awful. I agree with you with the health system. The health system is trash. The cut in taxes thing, just real quick, what y'all don't understand about taxes, and this is like a crazy thing that a lot of people in the middle class and below tend to think. They always be like, rich people need to pay their fair share of taxes. Rich people don't pay enough in taxes. Actually, rich people pay the majority in taxes, and they pay a grossly large amount. That's why they want tax cuts. And even with those tax cuts, they still pay more in taxes than you ever will, and with your middle class or lower class. I'm just saying. Our country is too right-wing as it is. That's a joke. That gotta be a joke. Our country is too right-wing as it is. Do you realize how liberal the United States is as a whole? And you get looked at crazy if you are conservative or Republican? Even Democrats are just right light and refuse to ever fix the problems Republicans cause with their awful policies that only benefit the richest people. You can't claim to be for freedom and then only favor evangelical Christians' religious freedom. Once again, we did another video in terms of evangelical Christians' religious freedom. In terms of that, this country isn't even religious anymore. That's why I said when you're talking about the country is too right-wing, it really is not. It's supremely liberal. Majority of the country does not practice religion at all. About 30-something% is religious, period. And that includes like all the religions. So that shouldn't mean the freedom to take away other people's rights. I still hate conservatism. It isn't a good system at all. You need to actually study and read into conservatism, because this whole paragraph was very incorrect. I'm not saying that because I'm a conservative, but like, it is. My food is done. If y'all heard that, I'm actually cooking right now. It's like super late. For y'all, it's going to be early morning, but for me, this is like super late at night. All right, and this is another comment. This might actually be the last comment because this video is getting kind of long. This is also from the Poor People Shouldn't Have Children video. This comment says, the only leisure poor people have is the bedroom, so they reproduce more unplanned kids. Even in the Bible, the Israelite multiplied in Egypt, hard times. The reason I put this comment in here, it actually reminded me of something from when I worked my last job. So when I worked my last job, before leaving, I did end up becoming manager. I was running a whole department. And one of the girls in my department, she was so young. She had to be like 19 or 20. I remember she came to work one day and she was like, saying, I need to talk to you. And I was like, yeah, what's going on? And she was like, I think I'm pregnant. I'm thinking she far along. I'm like, oh, did you take a test and blah, blah, blah. She was just like, no, I had sex with my boyfriend like a week ago, but I think I'm pregnant. And I was like, a week ago? What do you... I mean, I guess it's possible, I guess, but that's super early to think you're pregnant already. So I was like, all right, well, you set up a doctor's appointment. I was explaining to her how to go to the doctor and figure out she was pregnant. She comes back to work, you know, time goes by, another week goes by, and then she comes back and she's just like, oh, saying I'm pregnant. So she's 2 weeks pregnant now at this point. So we all happy for her. And now I have to figure out my work schedule because I was in robotics. So that meant she couldn't do a lot of heavy lifting and fixing of things. So basically, once we worked that all out, time goes by. And we walk in one day because she was helping me do something. And she was telling me the story of how, like, she told her mom she was pregnant. And her mom was like, I knew y'all was going to get pregnant as soon as your boyfriend moved in with you. And she was like, why you say that, Mom? Why you think we was going to get pregnant? She was like, because all y'all do is have sex all day. And I was like, why your mama know that? That's weird. That's a lot of weird information to know. Ew. And she looked at me and she was just like, well, she was right. You know, that's all we do. And I was like, what you mean that's all you do? Y'all just have... I was like, no, that can't be all you do on your days off. And she was like, yeah, that's all we do because we be bored. It don't make no sense. But that's what they were talking about in the video. And that's how you end up in certain situations with kids being raised in poverty. Because even though I was the manager, I was getting paid cool. My employees, however, because it ain't my company, I just work there. they weren't making good money. So the boyfriend wasn't making good money. That's how you create the situations that video was talking about. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. All right, y'all. Because of time, we gonna end it right there. That's gonna be the last comment for this week. I appreciate y'all for sticking around. I like doing these. I like being able to like randomly cherry pick comments, talk to you guys about them. Especially these. There was a lot of long ones this week, but this has been a very interesting week in itself. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, and I'll see you at 3 p.m. for the next video. So until next time, you already know who it is. It's Sang.